Hi, this is Rebecca, and the last couple weeks we've been talking about pursuing your purpose. And the last video we talked about some things that you can do to really get started, looking at the longer term vision, working back to set some goals, and then finding something that you can really get started with. Now I'm hoping that you've already done that, but maybe you're still struggling a little bit with what does that look like for me? I'm not really sure where to start. So today, I'm going to give you a principle that it doesn't matter where you are in your life. This is a principle that will change everything for you. This is a principle that will help you move forward regardless of how old you are, regardless of what you're involved in, regardless of what stage you are in that pursuit of your purpose. If you're just getting started, if you have a ways to go, this is a principle that will help you. Here it is. Whatever you're doing, put your whole heart into it, everything you've got. So, let's say that you have a job, and maybe it's a job that you're not even very happy with. Instead of going to work every day, being miserable, complaining, put everything you have into it. Do your absolute best. Be the best that you possibly can be at that job. What if you're in school? Instead of just skating by until you graduate, put everything you have into learning everything you can during that time. How about if you're volunteering for some community organization? Instead of showing up and being like, well, they are so lucky to have me here because they're so desperate for help and I'm, gonna help change the world, and you're barely there. You're just kind of putting in your time and making a little check mark on your good deed list. Instead of doing that, put everything that you have into service in that cause. Give it your all. Now you might be thinking, I don't think that that's really going to help me. This job that I have is not the job that I want to keep for the rest of my life. It definitely is not something that I feel is part of my purpose. And, going to school, I'm just doing that so that I can get to my real life. Or, this volunteering thing, this whatever other thing that I'm involved in, it's all right, but it's still not what I consider really part of my purpose. So why would I give my all to it? What does it matter? It's not going to help me in the long run. That is absolutely not true, because what happens is everything that you are doing is going to lead you to the next thing, whether it's in terms of development or in terms of opportunities. That thing that you are doing right now is going to be what gets you to that next step if you manage it well. People don't realize a lot of times that everything that we do every day, you are being tested, you are being developed, you are being assessed and watched. You might not realize it, but it's not just celebrities that get watched. You are being watched, whether it's by your boss, by your peers, by your friends, by your spouse, by your kids. People are watching what you do. They see your struggles. They see those things that you have overcome, the obstacles that you've gotten past. They see your attitudes. They see your efforts. They watch and they pay attention. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, they are assessing you all the time. And so those people that are around you are going to be making decisions about what opportunities they are going to give you in their own lives. So here's an example. I have been managing people now for quite a while, and I can give you probably numerous examples of situations where people didn't even realize that they were being assessed. But I'll give you a couple. There was a guy that worked for me at one point that did a good job. I liked his attitude. He was pleasant to work with. He would do the job, but he would tend to break the rules. He would cut corners and try to get away with it. And so there came a point where I really wanted to recognize some people for their good work. And he was one that I wanted to recognize for those good attributes. But I didn't feel like I could give him any recognition because of all of those corners he was trying to cut, all of those rules he was trying to break. And it would have been a bad example to the others around him. I couldn't recognize him for that. So that was disappointing. But I'm going to give you an even sadder example, because there was one point where I had a job that was available and I was looking at possible people to fill that position. And there was a woman that worked for me that I think had the aptitude to do the job. And it would have been an opportunity for her to grow. It would have been a career development thing for her that could have made a huge difference longer term in her life. I couldn't give her the job because she came to work every day with a negative attitude, always complaining. And, you know, even on her good days, she would have, you know, some times where she would start, you know, being a little bit positive, but then she would revert right back. And if I had put her in that new position, I was concerned that that negativity would have been passed off to that new department and it would have been detrimental to the company. I couldn't give her the job and it would have changed her life. So if you are not putting your all into everything every day when you're getting assessed by people all around you, not only could you be missing opportunities for your own development, but you could be just plain missing opportunities and open doors that will lead you to your purpose. We talked the last time about you don't want to miss opportunities. This is a case where if you are not putting your all into what is before you, you could actually be closing doors on yourself. Don't do it. Instead, give your everything. So what does that look like? When you go to work, you show up every day, do your best, put your effort into it. What that's going to lead to could be recognition, could be better raises, could be promotions, could be just improving, you know, your resume with new projects, new things that you have learned and done that can go on your resume for your next job. If it comes to, you know, school, you put your all into school. Not only are you going to have the benefit of all of that education and those things that you learned that you wouldn't have learned without trying, but it could lead to graduating with honors. It could lead to just plain better job opportunities when you finish. You know, volunteering, giving everything you've got into that. People see that, they see your heart, they see your attitude. It could lead to more responsibility in that organization and the chance to make a bigger difference. Even when it comes to like your hobbies, those things that you do for fun, when you put your all into it and you do your absolute best at it, it could lead to actually making money from it. You don't know, but it takes the effort. And how do you do it? You know, a lot of people struggle with this too. Just how do you go about it? Because you know what? It's not easy. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not like I can show up to work and I did really well this week, so nothing's happening, so it's not working. No, it takes time. It takes diligence. It takes an ongoing giving your best to whatever that is. So how do you do it? I was reading a book by Mel Robbins called The 5-Second Rule. It's about how in 5 seconds you make a decision and you act on it. So essentially, if I have an idea in my mind, like I need to have a good attitude in this situation, I have 5 seconds to make sure that I act on that and do it. Because otherwise, if I let it go, all these other thoughts are going to come in. You know, there's a good reason why I'm not having a good attitude or I'm not doing my best. And so that good thought, that positive thing that's going to move you forward gets washed away. Same thing if like you need to work out. I have the idea, I need to work out. I have 5 seconds to make that decision and go do it, instead of having all the other ideas of I'm tired, I don't feel like it, I can do it tomorrow. So you change your life 5 seconds at a time. 5-second decisions moment by moment by moment, day by day, add up to that everything changes. So 5 seconds of deciding that I'm going to give my best right now, and then another 5 seconds next time you have a question about it, those are going to add up so that you can actually change the habit, and it changes you from the inside so that you're constantly just giving your best, and it will change everything in your life. It will open doors. So then your next step is to pay attention when the opportunities come, because they will come. And be ready to see them, be ready to recognize them, and be ready to jump on them. So I encourage you, get started today. Do what you need to do. Work with what's in front of you. Put your all into it. Put your heart and soul into it. It's going to change your life. Please subscribe to my channel. Get ready for the next video coming next Monday. I look forward to talking to you then. Thanks.